The Sisters of St. Joseph of Toronto are due for a celebration. Ever since the first sisters arrived in Canada in 1851, their work, their devotion has been priceless. It's often done quietly. They are not ones to seek the limelight. And so this is a rare opportunity to see their work, their spirit, their ministries in the celebratory light of black and white photography. In their earliest years, the sisters devoted themselves to tend to the sick and the needy, worshiping God through a life of prayer and service to their neighbor. During the 20th century, they founded schools and hospitals. They helped the young and the old, those in need of a good education, excellent health care, a loving presence. By the end of the 20th century, the sisters had moved out of their large institutional ministries, and they were putting a greater focus on the ministries of unmet needs, housing for the homeless and underhoused, meals for the hungry, nursing in the streets of Toronto, ministering to First Nations people in the far north. Today, they are trying very hard to meet the neighbors in their own neighborhoods, and that opens up all sorts of possibilities. It's impossible to sum up all of their good works of the last 160 years, but it just might be possible in the next few minutes to see where they are now, in ministry today, often working in new and creative ways. Sister Margaret Myatt is encouraged by the energy, the commitment, and the enthusiasm of the sisters, and she feels very fortunate to have been their congregational leader for the last 12 years.
The best part about this ministry of leadership in our congregation has been the opportunity to meet each one of our sisters individually, and then to see collectively what we are as a group of women in today's society. And we have not only the opportunities, but we have a great responsibility to meet those opportunities. And as I say, the opportunities have changed over time, and they are now anything your imagination can and your skills can allow you to do to help one another, those on the street, those in their homes, those who are looking for God in the parish work, those who are looking for spiritual direction, those different groupings of people. We are able, and we do try to meet their needs, and that's very, very, very wonderful, and I'm very grateful to God for the 12 years.
Sister Margaret is stepping down now as congregational leader, and the Sisters of St. Joseph of Toronto are moving from the Mother House at Morrow Park to a smaller downtown location. But their work will certainly go on. And as you watch the Sisters of St. Joseph at work, the images will speak for themselves. The sisters, working in 15 different ministries, from downtown Toronto to the far north. And this is just a small sampling of their lives, their ministries, their work as a congregation in 2010 and beyond.
We can feel a change is coming, like a kiss upon the tide, breathing life into every heart, a hopeful kind of times. As we have walked this road together, and though at times we felt alone, in the struggle to lift us up, we find a strength I'm yet to find.
Sister Margaret is happy to see the sisters being true to their original calling of helping their neighbor where he or she lives. Sister Anne Schenk does it here at a furniture bank in Toronto, where she invites new immigrants and young families to find the things they really need to set up a warm and nurturing home. As many of the sisters will tell you, the Sisters of St. Joseph do not have a monopoly on good works. Parishioners get involved, and many people who get to know and love the sisters are then inspired to be good neighbors in their own daily lives. Sister Rosalie Siegler in Burlington has certainly experienced this. She says many parishioners come first to ask for help, perhaps to set up a baptism or to organize a marriage, and then she says she draws them into her circle for discussion and prayer, celebration and friendship. And while Sister Rosalie and others are role models and friends to those in parish life, Sister Grace Sauvé and other Sisters of St. Joseph take it a step further with the ministry with CSJ Associates. They've helped revive the idea of associates, lay people who join the sisters in their good works. The associates and the sisters take time to pray together, share their faith, encourage one another. Not everyone can take the step to becoming a sister, but many associates carry the spirit of ministry out into the world, and this, many feel, is part of a very promising future. The Sisters of St. Joseph have many ways to share their faith with others. Sister Dorothy Schweitzer invites people home for a casual meal. Stories are told, prayers are offered. This too is part of Ministry Work 2010. Sister Dorothy says sometimes women want to discuss what would it be like if they joined the congregation. And she is so pleased that new women are coming forward to consider a life in Christ. Some sisters feel if the congregation wants to continue to attract young people, they have to try to connect with them where they live and where they play. In these photos, it's at a local watering hole in downtown Toronto, a little theology on tap. It gives young adults a chance to think and ask questions, questions they might otherwise be shy to ask out loud. And they make connections, faith connections, spiritual connections, and friends. Sister Mechtilde O'Mara says young people still find her in a place where she feels the most at ease, in a classroom, sharing her knowledge, her scholarship. In these photos, she is teaching ecclesiastical Latin, a language that makes a student pay very close attention to the exact meaning of a message, a skill she says will serve them well when they go out into the world to help others. Ministering to the needs of seniors has always been a part of the Sisters of St. Joseph, and here at Village Mosaic, the sisters say, what better time to help older people than when they themselves have crept into their senior years. It's easy to spot the companionship, the camaraderie, and the laughter between members of the neighborhood and the sisters who reach out a hand in fellowship. Finding spirituality through art is one of Sister Virginia Varley's special strengths. A lifelong artist, she and Sister Betty Lou Knox spend one afternoon a week with neighbors who share their love of art. Art, for Sister Virginia, can be a language of prayer. We form relationships, we learn from each other here, she says, and that too is part of ministry today. Sister Peggy Bach continues a long tradition of community life, caring for the older Sisters of St. Joseph, who need quiet support and a loving presence. She says she can remind them of what they have done in their lifetimes and honor who they are today in a world that often forgets the priceless gifts of our elders. A spirit of care and respect is echoed in the ministries in remote communities, and here it is seen in northern Canada.
This quiet heart is one you can have. You just need to look into the palms of my hands, 'cause that's where you'll see it. I'm holding it out to you. This it was written on a back page, but that's okay because little things are still wonderful, wonderful. And here's how I mean it. I'm holding it out to you. But if you will take it, well, I guess that's up to you.
We're back to doing what our original sisters did when they first came to Canada, which is meet people where they are and try to just accompany them on their journey to God. That's basically what we're about. I would hope you would see that the life of a religious in today's world is one that is filled with excitement, if you will. And the excitement comes in being able to use your skills to bring people to see that God is still alive and well in our world. And that as we minister to people, we do that because we love God and we want them to see and meet Jesus as they meet and talk to us. We don't have a monopoly on good works, but that's why we've chosen to work with other people, with our associates, and with our volunteers. I'm very optimistic. Not that we will remain as we are. We have changed since the time I entered the congregation, and we will change again. Who knows what that will be, but it will be exciting.